once we were physically first, starting 14th.
Yeah, you know you're...
Like, somebody's going to have to make up a bunch of time on us. They're going to have to come and pass us to beat us.
Yeah.
Unless they, started 22nd, which I didn't know anybody who had a problem qualifying that was going to make up that much time. And then the last 20 miles, we started having shifting problems. So we had to
oh, shoot.
I know, I freaked out, started making all this noise.
No, dude.
Yeah.
Who knew I would make it this far? They hated, they never believe me. Yeah, I would never drop the ball. I know I make it look easy. Yeah, Mayweather with the defense. I don't care what a critic gotta say. I got them picking up the pieces.
All right, we are back. Welcome to another episode of the Lambo and Leroy Show. Today, we got Mr. Eric Harden. We got the Mint400 winner with us. Man, welcome to the show.
Thank you guys for having me. This place is awesome.
Thank you, man. We're stoked you came out, dude.
We try. I can't take the credit for this place. It's all him.
It's our little getaway, Our little. Actually, we come to work here, but it's cool. We want a little man cave,
Dude, insane.
Well, we're super pumped to have you on too. I mean, you just won one of the most popular races, probably. I mean, next to just the Baja 1000.
Yeah.
But for a stateside race, it's probably the biggest, most well-known, probably the most spectated too. And you just won that race, and it's freaking awesome. And we'll get into probably all that story and everything too. But it's I'm also kind of curious, how did you get into racing? Where'd you come? I mean, Harden from Southern California. It's a name I think people are familiar with. Is there a link between you and some of these dealerships?
Yeah. Man, it's a long story, but yeah, no. I'm my brother and me are the first generation in racing for our family, and then but my family's been in the car business in Orange County for 3 generations now. So
wow.
Yeah, since 1957. So it's pretty cool
Damn,
to
that's awesome.
continue
awesome.
that on. Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
And so what dealerships do you guys currently have?
So right now it's just 4. It's Harden Honda in Anaheim, Harden Buick GMC in Anaheim, and then Kia Vervine and Garden Grove Kia. So
Just massive, though.
yeah, it's a lot of work.
I'm sure, man. That's
Keeps us
insane.
Keeps us busy for
That
sure.
is so bitchin'. And so you've obviously, been involved in that from
since I was 14. So I'm 40 now. So yeah, just like
it's
you,
a
family business.
start young, and it's what we do. We bleed and sweat cars. So whether we're selling them or racing them or what,
Yeah, my position for the longest time was being a mediator between the family, trying to mediate the conversations and everything. But I mean, a family business can be so awesome and then so stressful at times too.
Totally.
You're working with the people you're going to go have dinner with at night.
Yeah, it definitely has its pros and cons. But I mean, everybody's family dynamics different, but the pros definitely outweigh the cons, I think, so
now please don't tell me you drive a Honda Ridgeline.
no, I was just on the phone with Proctor on my way here.
That's
though.
funny.
It's pretty funny. Yeah, I saw those pictures. Yeah. No, I drive a GMC truck.
Okay,
Nice.
cool. Because I'm a Chevy guy. I have been throughout, I've always had Chevy
Yeah,
products.
you're always a Chevy guy.
They might lose me on this one. I'm like, damn you, Chevy, but that's good to know. You're not driving a Honda.
I think Proctor has the coolest Ridgeline ever, though.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, no doubt about that.
Yeah, 100%. It's
He's badass.
Rad.
I know.
So what are you currently doing with the GMC dealerships or the dealerships right now? Do you run all of them?
So I run 2 Kia dealerships, the 2 Kia stores with my brother's help, and then my brother runs the GMC dealership and oversees pretty much everything, and then my sister runs the Honda dealership. So
I'm sure you had some struggles through COVID and everything, supplies, because your business is dictated heavily on you being able to get vehicles, right?
Yeah. It was like we were just talking about before the podcast, but it was wild. I mean, we had so many cars in inventory, like all the dealers. Just between the 2 Kia stores, I'd have like 700-800 cars on the ground at once.
Wow.
And it was just a nightmare, trying to park these things, trying to find a place to put them, keep them young.
That's crazy.
Just
keep them clean.
Yeah, keep them clean, keep the batteries charged. I mean, sell the, last in, first out, or first in, you know what I mean? It's
Dude,
just
that's crazy.
Just doing it the right way, and then to go down to literally we have 0 cars for a year and a half, between 0 and 30 cars, and it changed the whole dynamic of the business. So
Well, yeah, because you used to have sales guys on the floor constantly trying to move cars. Well, then it's like, well, I don't need you guys in the parking lot trying to move cars that we don't have.
Yeah.
Maybe what do you do? And then they're coming at you, and the whole dynamic probably changed.
Yeah, no, it was wild. Now it just changed the whole industry. And I mean, I feel like it's correcting now, but it was crazy, you know, just going, hey, we don't have it, but we have one coming in a month or 2 weeks or 6 weeks. And, you know, people were happy to put deposits down and just get what they could. And just like anything, you know, it's like if it's there in front of you, you buy it. I mean, we moved into our house a couple years ago, and I was buying an above ground hot tub, and those are, you know, cars, hot tubs, beds. Those are negotiable items usually, you know. And I'm looking around at the hot tub place. It's a huge warehouse, and there's sold signs on pretty much every single hot tub in there. And there's like 2 left, and this is the one that we were wanting. And of course, you know, I'm a car guy. I wanted to negotiate and try and get the best deal I could.
Yeah, of course.
And the guy's like, do you want it or not? And I look at my wife. I'm like, do you want it? And she's like, well, I don't know. I mean, I don't have to. I'm like, we're taking it. You know, it's like, bam, full price, no, whatever. And I was happy to do it. I didn't care because I wanted it. You know, it's
of course.
It's like supply and demand, you know, and we didn't have to wait and do the whole thing. And it's kind of how it was with the car business too. So
didn't have to haggle on anything at the point.
Yeah. People were reasonable and just, you know, excited to buy Kias. So.
Now, why is it like right now? Maybe you can answer this. Like, you know, the new Raptor R, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's okay. It's everything we wanted. Always wanted our Raptors to be. If we were to have a Raptor, and honestly, if this Raptor was available when I bought my Chevy, I probably would have bought that. But I just couldn't wrap my head around a V6. Why are they like marking these things up like $60,000? Is it because they can?
I mean, there's so many people that want those Raptors, and they're such special trucks that. Especially the new one's always the most coveted one, but this new one's insane. You know, the new R. I mean, they really knocked it out of the park. Like, you just think they can't get any better, and they just get even more.
And they do, exactly.
They're so sick.
And all it does is make me get more pissed off at like GM
I
and
know.
Chevy. Like,
come on, why don't you do this?
something?
I know it's frustrating, you know, being with GM right now because we're just outgunned on the power. You know, it's like we have these. The ZR1 motor or whatever, you know, we could throw that in a truck.
Could you imagine how awesome that would be?
And compete with the TRX and compete with the Raptor R and do something sweet. And I hope they do that. You know, maybe I heard they're threatening to do something cool soon. So
I hope they would. Well, we had to build when we got my son a 2022 Chevy, and then we did the full, you know, Dirt King long travel glass, Pro Charger, everything to try and be
that Raptor.
Yeah, to beat it. But then, I mean, it might be better in some areas, but it's still not that much better because a Raptor R with a warranty, everything's pretty sick.
Yeah, but the Pro Charger probably got it, 600 horsepower or so?
Yeah, it rips.
Yeah, I'm sure that thing rips. That's awesome.
Yeah, that helps for sure. And I'm sure,
It does. It really kind of makes you, like, I mean, my truck, it's a 6.2 with the Magnuson on it also, and it's hard to, like, once you put a supercharger on these things, like, you can never not have them. You're like, fuck.
You have to have it now.
Yeah, you're jaded.
And then you just want to race everything you possibly can.
And it's a sleeper because nobody expects it to
No
be
one
fast.
knows.
You know?
Yeah, exactly.
You pull up next to a TRX, you know that thing's going to, you don't even want to race it, you know?
Yep.
I keep
know
waiting for
it's
the
fast.
time I get to go race one. I'm like, I'm going to race one of those things.
gotta
It'll probably
beat it.
kick my ass because they're actually designed to have that power and like get it to the ground. I'll just probably burn out for 100 feet and then
And
go.
lift it that much bigger too. So.
Yeah, for sure. It's like you're driving the thing in 4-wheel drive all the time, you know, just to keep the thing hooked up.
I'm scared to like launch that thing in 4-wheel drive. I'm afraid it might
Blow
be
it
the only
out.
time it's going to ever launch in 4-wheel drive.
That's great. That's great.
Dude, so Kia did a full rebrand pretty recently, right?
Yeah. It's actually been 2 years since they changed the logo.
It's crazy. I see them everywhere now.
Yeah, it's you know, it's been it's a great time to be with Kia. You know, whether you're driving one or whether you're selling them.
Yeah.
You know, the brand's come so far.
Yeah.
Obviously, you guys have heard of the Telluride.
Well, I was going to say that. I mean, that thing's actually pretty bitchin' to where at one point I was even looking at maybe one for the wife
badass.
or something. Like, it just kind of makes sense for the wife and everything, even though it'd be really hard to like admit that I have a Kia.
Yeah.
But they're pretty badass.
I feel like they've done a really good job.
Oh no, they're insane. I mean, and that's part of the reason why, you know, they wanted to rebrand the logo, which has gotten the greatest feedback from everybody. Everybody loves the new logo.
Yeah, it's good.
I mean, people with Kias that are older than 2 years, they're like, hey, can we change our logo out and this and that? And you know, the old oval is like kind of pressed into the hoods and the different body panels, so it's not really like an easy thing. I'm like, let's just buy another car. Let's trade that thing in.
Yeah, let's get your new one.
So it's an easy upsell. It's like, hey, we'll sell you the new one with the new logo. You don't have to deal with it.
It's awesome.
But yeah, the Telluride, I mean, all the cars, the whole lineup is really good, but the Telluride really changed the brand for us. You know, it's not like a Raptor, but it's one of those cars before COVID to where they've always been selling over MSRP. There's always been way more demand than supply.
Good, man. That's
the
great.
used ones, the residuals are super high. The resale value is insane.
Really?
Yeah, the used ones are worth a ton.
Wow.
So there's a full market for that car, which is sweet. You know, and then to have like the other models following up with it, you know, the Sportage, the Celta, everything. I mean,
Rad.
They're
It's crazy
a
how
great
like the
time.
mid-size SUVs are really blowing up
Yeah.
right now. Like blowing up. I mean, when
time.
you think back to the days like when the Explorer was out there, it was like trash. That's like the Firestone tires going to roll or flip or something, you know. Like, but now like all the new Explorers, all the mid-size SUVs, everything are just killing it. I mean, they got to be real close to the truck game too.
Yeah. I mean, it's the fastest growing segments. You know, small SUVs is where it's at, and especially in California. You know, with the hybrids, the plug-in hybrids, gas is so expensive.
True.
I don't see it going down anytime soon with the way things are heading. So, you know, it's good to have fuel efficient, you know, cars or vehicles, small SUVs, and to have, you know, the EVs that we have available to us now. We've got a cool EV coming out at the end of this year. It's called an EV9. It's similar to a Telluride, but it's full electric. I've seen it.
That's rad.
It's sick. Like, it's going to be a game changer, but I don't think we're going to be able to get them.
So being in the exhaust business and everything, and we've had multiple EV, conversations. What's your take on them? Is there a place yet for it?
I mean, I'm torn on it. You know, there's pros and cons. Everybody's got their own take on it. I mean, it's going to be hard. The problem with the EVs are still the range, you know, the range anxiety until they can get them up to 500 miles on a charge or 500 to 1,000, get the turnaround super quick to where you can charge them quick, readily available like you could filling a gas tank.
Charging batteries quick doesn't make sense.
Yeah. I mean, we're years away from that happening. And then the price, you know, they're just so expensive. So once they can get those three things under control, I think that there's going to be no stopping them. I mean, just because they're the future, unfortunately, you know, however you want to do it. It's you know, like for you with the exhaust business, it's not good for business, you know, and for us, you know, we have huge service departments and they still have problems just like any other car, but they have fewer problems.
So, and what do they say?
Really? That's good.
Than an internal
They're saying like 10 years, right? They're going to try and full electric. I mean, that's going to drastically affect your sales, the fleets, everything. Do you think that's going to actually happen, or is it just all fucking talk?
I don't know.
Right now?
I don't think it can happen. I mean, how can you? I mean, literally last year, you know, the governor's telling us that, hey, 2035, 10 years, right? Or 12 years or whatever it is, you got to go full electric. And then 3 days later, he's like, hey, by the way, can you guys not charge your cars? And can you not run your air conditioning? There's rolling blackouts. My house blacked out. I'm like, what in the heck is going on? This is crazy. So I feel like the cart's way ahead of the horse on this whole thing. So there's no way to be able to do that. What are we going to have? Like people, you know, in the Midwest and East Coast, they have snow days when they get snowed in. What are we going to have? Like power days where we can't go to work because nobody can drive?
Kids, we had smog days back in the day.
We did have smog days. That was crazy. I forgot about those days.
Like, smog's high, guys. You can't play outside. Damn it.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know how. I don't see that could happen.
Well, I guess we'll find out, right?
Yeah.
In what, 8 more years?
Yeah. I mean, it's just impossible.
Yeah. No, it's crazy, man. What pushed you guys into racing?
So I mean, I was just like everybody else growing up, riding dirt bikes, you know, trying to, you know, be good at that and do all that. And then when I was 12, I got diagnosed with bone cancer. And then so I lost my right leg. And I was trying to do the dirt bike thing. And I ended up crashing, breaking my leg. Breaking my prosthetic leg too. I wasn't very good with a fake leg, and it was pretty frustrating. And so my brother and I, we went to my parents and my grandpa, and we're like, "Hey, you know, Eric, I can't race anymore or ride dirt bikes anymore. Maybe we could go into like a truck, and we'll just build it ourselves." And so we talked him into $10,000. And then we just bought a fuel cell and some chromoly.
No way,
dude.
Like a 1450 or something like that?
Oh, no, I wouldn't even. It was a stock Mini, but it was
that's
awesome. It was a roach, man. I mean, it was bad. I mean, we arc welded the whole thing. I mean, we were just kids learning how to do it. But
That's huge.
It was safe
though.
enough to enter into a race, and we were
That's
able to drive
awesome,
it around.
yeah.
Yeah, it was a toilet, but
It's a toilet.
it was fun. And then we just kind of worked our way up from there. But it got our foot in the door, and then started racing like Class 7 after.
Cool.
For a long time, and then went into a pro truck, and then tried Class 1 after that for a year, and then took some time off when the recession hit last time in 07, 08, and then got back into it. And we've had a trophy truck for 9 years, but we're just a small team, you know.
Yeah.
We run a limited schedule.
Yeah.
Nice.
And here we are.
So talk to us about, leading up to the Mint 400, like, just the work, everything going into it, the feeling, the vibes. I mean, obviously you go into every race with the idea of winning, right? I mean, you're not going unless you plan on winning. But I mean, were you thinking that winning was the option?
I mean, I break it down into there's small, medium, and large off-road races, around here in our industry, in our sport. And, the more races and some of the snow races, I'd consider small, a smaller car count for the unlimited trucks. Yeah. And then, like a battle at Prim or something like that would be a mid-size, 15 trucks, some few fast guys. And then you obviously have like the Mint. You have, the big Baja races, the King of the Hammers now, the Big Daddies, the Parkers. And, we've been doing a lot of those more races the last 3 years with our pre-runner, which is a sister truck to the trophy truck. It just has a small pump gas motor in it, like 600 horsepower. And I've been going, my best friend, Andrew Myers, has been teaching me how to drive and riding with me over the last few years, and teaching me how to go fast and how to get the truck handling. So we won a lot of those races, the small ones. We won Battle of Prim last year, so I'd say if you can't win the small ones, you're not going to win the medium ones.
100%.
If you can't win the medium ones, you're not going to win the big ones. So we won 7 or 8 of the small ones, won a medium one last year, and then the big ones though. I mean, we only do 2 big ones a year, and we just can't finish them no matter what. It's like the Mint. Last year, we broke an axle running 3rd with 60 to go.
Wow.
The year before that, we scattered a rear end. The year before that, we scattered a motor. The year before that, we left the lug nuts loose and broke a stud. The year before that, we scattered another motor. I mean, it goes on and on and on.
Damn.
The 6 or 7 times we've tried, yeah. But up until the last 2.5 years, I don't think we've had the speed. So, you wouldn't go to one of those races and expect to go win a Mint. You expect to try and get a top 5 if you luck into it, type of a thing. And it wasn't until the last couple years that I felt like we've had the speed and the confidence to be able to go lay it down with the Harley Lettners and the Jurgensens and the Herps and all the all these the Menzies and all these studs out there. So we were going there with every intention of trying to win, but qualifying 14th. I shit the bed in qualifying. It's frustrating, So I'm like, oh my gosh, we're gonna be stuck in the back.
That's tough, dude.
How do you feel like you shit the bed in qualifying? Was it like, you missed a turn, blew a turn, overdriving?
Yeah. I didn't get into a few of the corners good enough. I felt like I overslowed and cost, several seconds on each one. I'm like, oh my gosh, you can't do that,
For sure.
It's crazy how tight the class is now. Like when you look at the times, there's a very small window between the top 10.
Yeah. I mean, and these guys are wild. I mean, they're crazy. They hang it out there, and they are not scared to do whatever it takes to start up front, because you have to start up front, or you'll you have no chance. You'll be following somebody for 50 miles or 100 miles.
Jeez, man.
So we got super lucky, like obviously with all the rain we've been having, and then the night before it rained pretty good, which I was super stoked. I'm like, let it come down, let it come down, let it come down. Everybody else is all pissed off because everything's getting soaked. The trucks are all wet, everything's rusting. I'm like, just let it pour, let it pour. And then that next morning, like right when the race started, I mean, we had 20 mile an hour, 30 mile an hour gusts.
Oh my god!
So the winds were huge. It was kind of the perfect storm. So
it kind of dried everything out enough.
So we could see. So I mean, there's some good videos of some of these guys racing side by side at 80, 100 miles an hour. Trying to pass each other. BJ, Harley, all these guys. I mean, so we were able to make quick work out of some of the guys in front of us that would have taken a long time to try and pass. And meanwhile, while we're stuck behind people with a bad qualifying effort, all the front runners are checking out.
Running away.
Yeah, which they were still doing, but they might have been doing it a little too hard, and which helped when people were pulled over stopping. It's funny. I was just talking to Proctor about this. Like the King of the Hammers, I felt like that one, because of all the more races and everything that we do, like I have Johnson Valley and Lucerne a lot of the guys do in this sport, from testing, but I really know that desert, I feel like, and I love the hammers because I know where I'm going, so it helps a lot for sure.
Knowing what's kind of coming up, not having to rely on a map or anything.
Yeah, knowing where the hits are, the cautions, the dangers, the fast sections, all that, it makes a big difference. So I thought if we had a chance at one of these races, that was the one.
Yep.
And the fast guys got taken out in qualifying. RCR had problems in qualifying. I think Dondell had an issue. So when we started the race, there weren't as many fast guys. There were still a lot of people, but not like at the Mint. It wasn't these super
top
quick guys.
Yeah.
So, and then we were going to pass one of the trucks, and I got a flat at mile 28. And then it just snowballed, we got passed by everybody changing that. And then we followed the 6100s, and I got another flat trying to pass them. Then I got another flat and a drive shaft. So, I was
frustrating.
I was, as Casey Folks would say, I was the whistle dick that threw it all away. And the truck ran flawless. So the pit stops were perfect. Everything was perfect. Except for the driver,
It was driver error.
Yeah. So, we were still, I couldn't believe we got fourth when we finished, even with all those issues. But
that's amazing.
Yeah, which is actually our best finish in a big race. So I was like, I can't believe this,
So you got fourth at KOH, and then 3 weeks later you go out to Mint.
Yeah. So then we go to the Mint, and Andrew's riding with me. He's like, okay, let's not do what we just did or what you just did in at King of the Hammers.
Okay.
So we're going into the rock beds at the Mint, and I wasn't trying to stink up the course by going too slow, I guess Harley would say, but I wanted to be careful.
Yeah, just didn't want to throw it away.
There's boulders everywhere, and you go into these corners like a bat out of hell.
It's
You can
gnarly,
barely keep the car on the track or the truck. And then if there's a rock there that wasn't there before,
Tired.
you're gonna hit it, and I know how to do that. I'm really good at hitting rocks. So we kind of took our time the first lap through all the rocks, and it was funny. Like, we're just passing people. I'm like, that was me. That was me 3 weeks ago at the Hammers. This is how it feels to pass all these guys who were just driving a little over their head.
Wow.
And hitting all these boulders. So
I feel like it's really easy though too. I think the hardest part of racing is trying to calm yourself down for that long race.
Yes.
It's real easy to get hyped up, and even short course racing is still a long race, and it's easy to blow everything on the first turn.
Right away.
Second turn.
100%. And stack it up.
Yeah, and all the guys that have been doing it for a long time, they're like geniuses at being able to, I don't know, calm themselves down or meditate as they're in the fucking seat or something and really just slow their mind down, because, you're hyped the fuck up, and that flag goes and you're
And especially when you're starting 14th, you're like, I want to get up front. I got to get up front.
Yeah.
It's 100%, it's like, just, you don't want to take, you want to take stupid chances, because you're like, and then you're like, well, dude, I'm going to be in this thing for 6.5 hours or whatever it's going to be. So maybe I should make sure I get to the first hour, or the first 10 minutes for that case.
It's a lot of risk versus reward.
Yeah, you saw Dondell on that first corner. Did you see him next to Johnson? Yeah. Poor guy. I was like, he was going for it. Dude.
Yeah.
That looked like it hurt too.
Dude, that sucks.
I saw that jump. I was watching the day before when the side-by-sides were going. I saw that guy in the orange one go off in the ambulance. I was like, I don't know, dude. I think I'm probably going to be.
Was that off the start where he just
landed
that thing?
He lawn darted it.
Yeah. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah.
Yeah, that was bad.
That sucks. The first 50 feet of the race.
It's the worst.
Yeah, really throwing it away at that point.
For sure. And that first lap or off the line, I was starting next to August, and I overslowed. I slowed up too much because I was a little paranoid,
Yeah.
And he sent it off, and there's like a picture. He's like 5 feet above us. It's pretty cool. Steve's a wild man, dude. I was like, right on, dude. Send it into that corner, dude. Like, you're crazy. He's awesome, dude. So
you're going through, and you made it through, obviously, the rock beds, and there's.
Get to lap one. What was your game at that point? Like, okay, well.
So after the first lap, the first part of the lap was kind of our section, the first 50, 60 miles.
Yeah.
I knew that section good. There weren't too many rocks. It's super fast, and our truck's fast, and it handles good through all the bumps. So I felt really confident through all that. And then going into our second lap, at the end, we kind of slowed down, and there were some people behind us, and we're like, all right, we gotta really go now. Now that we're 100 miles into this thing, let's go. And we started hauling ass, checked out from all those guys, and just started catching the next guys.
So when you'd like to find hauling ass, okay, well, now we're gonna haul ass. Is it holding it wide open longer, or just tightening up the braking zones, a little bit of everything? Like, how do you go like, okay, I'm now like, are you grabbing another gear and then going faster? Or
I mean, we were going as fast as we could the whole race, probably 110% everywhere except for the rock beds, you know. But I mean, I saw 151 miles an hour on our GPS, like twice on 2 of the laps and on the lake beds, and 148 when it wouldn't go that fast. So it was like, you know, it's crazy when it doesn't feel. It's not scary, you know. It's more you're just in your head thinking, oh, well, when the tire comes apart, the wreck's just going to be that much bigger.
For sure. Yeah,
that's the biggest fear.
That's the fear. It's not, and you don't want to turn your head because it's so windy, you know. But you slow down to like make the left off the lake bed into the whoops, and you're still going 125. You're like, holy shit!
Damn,
you don't feel like it. You feel like you're slowing way down. You're like, wow, dude, I got to be careful. Like it takes a little longer to slow down.
Yeah.
So you kind of got to back things up a little bit. But you know, the rain smooth out some of these washes that had some huge hits in them over the years.
Wow.
Like the rain, I think that's what smoothed them out.
Makes sense, though, yeah.
The deserts just get rougher, it seems like.
Yeah.
So they were
especially out there, man. It's so rough.
Yeah. So I mean, we're able to hit a lot of that stuff just really good, you know. I mean, after the first lap, we really had our lines down. We kind of knew like how not to screw up, which corners to stay tight, which corners to push out on, that type of thing, you know. So
you start hitting your marks and just doing it.
Yeah. Next thing you know, I'm like, well, these guys are all stopping, changing flats, changing drive shafts, all these things. And then the pace was fast, like to keep up and to go run. I mean, the pace was wicked fast. And I remember like I can't remember what lap we are, but we're Rob Max lowering his truck off the jack right in front of us. We barely get in front of him, but it was in a speed zone. So I think we probably had 30 seconds in front of him, maybe a minute or so, but I could see him back there. I'm like, oh, great. We're going into the short course, which is more of my weaker section and definitely his strength. Everything's his strength.
Exactly.
And I was like, oh, and I got in my own head a little bit. I'm like, dude, the goat's right behind us. We got to, you know, and Andrew's like, just calm down, Eric, just calm down. You're doing fine. I was like, if he can run this pace and keep up with us, then he can try. But and he's like, we're going faster than you think. Trust me. And so we just kept on running, and I think he ended up having a problem anyways. Like,
I was talking to someone,
problem,
and I guess he was just mentioning that, like on the first like lap or two, Rob was just saying everyone's going too fast.
Yeah.
No one can maintain this speed. The whole pace is way too fast. No one's going to survive this one. The trucks can't handle it. And most of them didn't.
Yeah.
And it sounds like you did because of just from your experience from the King of the Hammers. You're like, I'm not doing that again. Like, I'm going to do this. And that's hard, dude. That patience got to be tough.
It's a mental game. It's a total mental game. And, you know, after looking at like the times and watching the videos after the race, I mean, the Herps, Dean was driving that thing. Yeah. He was freaking smoking that thing. He was hauling ass, and obviously Lofton was, you know. And if they would have ran clean, it would have been super hard to like definitely impossible to catch Lofton, you know.
Yeah, but the crazy thing is, they have to keep pushing because they know you guys are pushing behind them, so everyone's got to keep pushing.
Yeah.
But what's even
one flat tire and it's all
game over. Yeah.
Well, what's even harder is if somebody comes by you pushing it way hard, to not want to push it hard because
to go get him.
If they're gonna break, well then you're gonna break with them, right? Like, and it's just like shit. Like, you don't really know you win the race till the very end.
Yeah, for sure. And it was a trip. So, you know, we get to the last lap. We're starting or halfway through the third lap, and it's like Kevin Thompson and Harley and us, and we started so far back that, you know, I could see them in the distance, but barely. Only when we would go up on a hill. I wasn't in their dust or anything, but and there'd be lappers in between us sometimes at that point in the race. But I was like, you know, I was coming here hoping to get a top 3, maybe a top 5 with where we started. Yeah. After, you know, I was bummed. I didn't even want to start the race. I was so mad at my qualifying effort. I'm like, dude, this is so much money and work just to not have a shot at it, you know. And then now I'm all mad. I'm like, dude, if we lose this thing because we backed off because we're just trying to finish at that point and those guys beat us by 30 seconds or whatever, I'm going to be pissed. Like, we need to win this race. So we're driving as fast as we could to try and keep up with those guys and to try and keep the time that we had on them. I think we had like 30 seconds or a minute and a half on them on corrected time or elapsed time. But
well, I think in the end, too, the times between like the top 5, it was like 40 seconds or something.
Well, by the end, because those guys dropped out and then Householder had a drive shaft and I think a flat. or something. And I know Serapis, I think, had a flat tire or something. And once Harley broke, like he was the last guy that was tight with us, and so I think we won by like 14 or 15 minutes.
Dude,
so
that's awesome.
Yeah,
man.
yeah. But normally, I mean, these races are won by seconds, 40
Dude,
seconds,
even like
30 seconds.
The 1,000 last year, wasn't it like between Luke and like Bryce or something like that? It was like 30 seconds. Like it's insane.
Which is insane over like
they're right on top of each
Yeah.
other.
hours. I mean, hours of racing, and you lose it by 30 seconds.
It's wild. And I mean, if you think about like a NASCAR race or any round race or road racing deal. Those guys have cautions, whether they want them or not. Even if it's not on the schedule, they're gonna have cautions. There's gonna be debris, all these things, and that bunches the cars back up.
Yep.
If there was a green lap race where the thing actually went green, like a Daytona 500 or something that went green, I mean, maybe not a 500 with the draft, but all the other normal races. Somebody's going to win by like minutes in NASCAR
for sure.
because somebody's going to hit their setup.
Yeah.
They're going to check out. It's not going to be as competitive. Well, with our sport, there are no cautions. There's nothing. So to go green that for several hours, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12 hours, whatever the race is.
Still that close.
And to be that close, I mean, that's as competitive as it gets.
Yep. And everyone getting flats, everyone having to stop for change, everyone getting fuel, like that's insane.
Yeah. They're big pit stops.
Big pit stops.
80, 90, 100-gallon fuel pit stops, 2 rear tires. These things are 150 pounds of tire. It's like there's a lot of things that can go wrong,
A lot of things, man.
At what point did you kind of know that you had this thing in the bag?
Once we saw Kevin getting out, it looked like he had a drive shaft problem. Once we saw him like getting out of the truck, I was like, all right, I don't know exactly where we're at because the team didn't want to like really
they want
get
you
in
to
our
go
head.
overdrive the next turn and blow it.
So that was like with 75 to go on the last lap.
That's a long time though.
Yeah. And
75 miles is a long way to go.
So we kind of backed off a little bit, but I didn't want to back off too much because and follow
you don't
the
want to
seat.
lose at that point.
And I knew there were other guys back there. You know,
of course.
like there's a lot of trucks in that race and they're fast. So
well, then you're thinking like if you did get a flat or something, you want to be far enough ahead to have enough time to potentially get back around.
Yeah. But I knew once because we were physically first, starting 14.
you're
like somebody's gonna have to make up a bunch of time on us. They're gonna have to come and pass us to beat us.
Yeah.
Unless they started 22nd, which I didn't know anybody who had a problem qualifying that was gonna make up that much time. But then we kind of backed it off just a little bit. And then the last like 20 miles we started having shifting problems, so we had to like I know I freaked out, started making all this noise.
Dude.
Yeah, so the dog rings were just starting to go. It got stuck in second, and then we have a 6-speed Albins which ran great just up until the end, and so I was able to get it up into fourth, which you can still go 95, but
dude, that's crazy.
Yeah, but you got to be careful not to get the torque converter too hot. So the last 20 miles, we were just trying to get to the finish.
My gosh,
yeah,
dude, like,
without losing too much time. But
dude, that's so scary, though.
It would just make me want to cry at the end if that.
I thought we were losing a rear gear. I mean, it was making this noise like between the gear. I was like, oh my gosh! I was trying to pull over. I was like, oh, this is our luck.
Just keep going.
Yeah, and then it clicked up like 2 gears. I was like, hit the gas. It's all right here. I'm like, oh, dude, we're going. Let's keep it up. Let's keep going.
Keep it going. Yeah, don't slow down.
Yeah.
I mean, just when you think you beat all the competition, to then all of a sudden now you got to beat yourself. You got to beat your equipment. Your equipment be the one to take you out. Like,
I mean, usually the course just beats everybody. It beats me every single time. You know,
it's gnarly though, man.
So it was unreal to finish like that. I was in like shock. I didn't even know where to go at the finish line. I'm driving around like, okay, where do we go? Like I think my brother and I finished this race like 7 years ago once, and we didn't have a good run. I'm like, dude, we can't even finish this race.
Where's the podium at?
Yeah. So it was exciting. It was exciting.
You guys party?
Oh yeah, yeah.
How could you not?
Yeah, we partied for like a week straight.
That's awesome.
Not
man.
much productivity that week after, but
worth it, man.
I mean, it's such a high that just you carry for so long. Like, because racing is filled. It's ultimately just filled with lows, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's only one winner, so like we know what it's like to not be the winner. So to actually to be the winner and to get our first breakout win, as a dark horse, like. To be the Mint, it was really cool.
Yeah.
The Martellis do such a great job promoting it. They like turn whoever wins it into a celebrity. I mean, it's not
awesome
like winning some of the other races. Like there's all kinds of stuff that goes along with it. So it's been a lot of fun.
If there's a race to win, it's definitely that one.
Yeah.
Well, and it was televised well. People could see
it. Their live
I mean,
stream is so good.
Yeah, there's only 2 races really. The Hammers and the Mint are the only 2 races that you can actually watch live, and actually there's something to watch.
Exactly.
There's helicopters all over.
It's so gangster.
It's so cool, dude.
They do such a good job.
And then even the people talking about it, or the
announcers. Yeah,
I forget what were the names.
George with Hamill, Beaver.
They're helping along the way, informing people, and they're letting people kind of understand. It's really rad.
Yeah. No, they do a great job. And just it's a real sport, and it's crazy. It's crazy you could see and watch a sport like that. You know what I mean?
Who would have thought?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of elements to winning the race, but I mean, I think one of the biggest changes you guys did was it was a Gibson exhaust, I think, right? It was first time on there.
Exactly. Thank you for that, by the way.
Thank you for that. I think that might have helped aid it, bro.
Made that extra horsepower. That's why it got to 150 miles.
Though.
Exactly. 100%.
That's hilarious.
So whose truck is it, or what? I mean, what chassis is it?
So it's an ID Designs truck. So Ivan and Dave down in they moved to Temecula, but at ID Designs they built that truck. We built it new 9 years ago. It's basically the same truck as like what BJ Baldwin runs and what Ampudio was running before his Mason.
Okay.
So it's just a big, heavy girl, but she handles really good.
It works.
Stops really good, handles really good.
Good.
What tires do you run?
We run BF Goodrich.
Okay.
Yeah. So it was cool to get a check from them. Usually I'm
Usually
writing checks to them, and they're proud of those tires. Those things are awesome, and for a good reason. I mean, they're...
You have any flats?
No flats.
Really?
No
That's
flats.
Awesome, man.
Yeah. And I was talking to Jurgensen. He said he had like 6 flats in the first 110 miles.
What's
or
Jurgensen
something.
running?
I think they're Yokohamas.
Apparently he's just running too hard, right?
I mean, he's
Jurgensen's a nut,
he's
though.
crazy. That guy's so fast, So
I feel like that all-wheel drive is going to be good as soon as they get it dialed.
Yeah.
What do you think about the all-wheel drive?
I mean, I was watching qualifying yesterday for San Felipe, like everybody was, I think, all day for 3 hours, and had it on in the background. I'm just like, Andrew Myers is racing, so I'm rooting for my best buddy, but he's got a 2-wheel drive, and you're just outgunned down there.
You're outgunned down there,
if you don't have a 4-wheel drive, you're going to get your ass kicked.
Especially that course is super sandy, so that 4-wheel drive gets you through those turns, man.
I mean, they clowned everybody by a lot.
Yeah.
Did you see how many trucks were there?
Yeah.
I'm
depressed. I wish we were there. I wish we could be there.
Were there 40 trucks?
No, it's 42 spec trucks, and then
that's right,
28 trophy trucks.
Crazy.
That's wild.
That's awesome.
That's badass.
And there's got to be, I got to look at it, 10 or 12 or 15 all-wheel drives. I mean.
Oh, yeah. So they have.
Really?
I know Mason has 14 out right now.
In that race?
No, 14
14 done.
Built. Yeah.
Built. Okay.
So that's number 14 just went to Australia.
Okay.
So I think 13. I think Ampudio's with 13.
Okay.
Yeah, crazy.
I mean, that thing's just a piece of art.
Dude, they're so beautiful.
I know. It's so sick. And when they drive by, you hear all that winding and.
Dude, it's out of control. The gearbox you hear whining.
Dude.
And the exhaust come out the back too. It's just loud and screams.
I have a question. The fastest spec truck was 6 minutes, 18 seconds, right? Number one. And then the fastest trophy truck was 5 minutes and 39 seconds. Is that because of just power?
Yeah.
Is that really what it is?
For sure. I mean, I think the fastest 2-wheel drive trophy truck, I think that was Harley, right? So what did he...
no, Paul Wheel. I've never even heard of him.
That's Toby Price. He's in a 4-wheel drive.
Oh, it is. Yeah, that was number one.
Yeah.
So then you got, Tavo, Bryce. Is McMillan in a 4-wheel drive?
Yeah.
Potts.
He's in a 4-wheel drive.
Is he?
Yeah.
Ampudio now?
Ampudio now, yeah.
McMillan?
Yep.
Thompson?
No, he's in the 2-wheel drive.
So he was the first 2-wheel drive. He was 8th, and he did a 6 minutes 1 second.
What was the leader?
He beat it by 16 seconds.
5:39. So
oh yeah.
I mean, what, 20 seconds?
Yeah. It's good amount. That's a good amount because that's a short course too.
Yeah,
really quick, short.
And it wasn't bumpy. It was like a rally. So, and those spec trucks go too. They go before the trophy truck. So. Dude, the track is destroyed for the trophy trucks.
I'm sure after 42 spec trucks going out.
Yeah. So if you're one of the earlier spec trucks and you lay down a good lap.
Yep.
I mean, those guys run hard, but they have half the horsepower as these trucks, so they shouldn't be going as fast as a trophy truck. So, when it's a tight and technical course, they qualify top 5, top 3, overall.
Yeah.
Because those guys can drive and they run really well. But when you start getting into the horsepower wars like San Felipe or the Mint or
fast one.
or King of the Hammers where there's just long stretches, that power really matters. And then, when it's super windy, the 4-wheel drives just, dude, they just get out of those corners like crazy, And
the Mint, how is it when you're out there? I mean, are you dealing with a lot of, the UTV traffic, other car traffic? I mean, is there everything else out there you're having to go around and pass?
So for the Mint, it's cool because they break out the limited race versus the unlimited race. So I think the slowest cars in our race are the is it the specs or the 10? I can't remember if the 10 cars. Oh no, the 10 cars are in our race. 10 cars were in our race. So we started lapping 10 cars on the third lap.
Okay.
So we didn't have that much. It was just 10 cars and then 6100s. I mean, we probably lapped like 10 guys or something, but it wasn't too terrible. But yeah, if they tried to cram all 500 guys into one race,
no way.
Oh, dude, it'd be so dangerous.
Especially all the UTVs, all that.
It'd be a
no
disaster.
way.
Yeah. I mean, it was crazy even just passing 10 cars. You know what I mean? Like,
but in Baja, you're passing a lot of guys. Baja, you pass a lot of guys because I mean the UTVs start a couple hours before you guys.
well, they start behind us.
Oh, that's right. That's right. They do.
Yeah,
That's right.
yeah.
They do
But the
behind you
bikes
guys.
start in front
The
of you.
bikes start in front of you.
Yeah, but usually they're pretty much done.
Yeah, and they give them. I think they're giving them an even bigger head start as they should now.
Well,
Yeah,
they should.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, I want like
truck's
the biggest
so
head start
fast.
ever on one of those. You know?
I don't want to see a bike.
Yeah, and they have to go first because, dude, once all the trucks and everybody goes through the course is just, dude, you
just
couldn't ride a bike
trash.
through there.
No
You'd
way.
just be smoked.
It's insane.
Yeah.
That's wild,
Crazy.
man.
So what's your next race?
So my little nephew's racing 1600, so we're going to be out at the Moore race April 29th out in Lucerne.
Nice.
Yeah, so he's going to be running his 16 car, which we're
Dude,
way
that's
into.
awesome.
Yeah, it's awesome out there, and we love those races because you can camp and
There's
just
fun.
family atmosphere.
Yeah.
Cody
Yeah.
puts on an awesome program out there. It's just grassroots racing. We love it. I'll probably race Frankie, our pre-runner out there.
Nice.
And then our next big race that's on the schedule is the Martelli's next race, which is I think it's October 8th, the California 300.
Cool.
So it's not for a while.
Yeah.
So it gives us a chance
Gives you time.
to put the truck back together
Yeah.
and go back. We're going for that Triple Crown, which is the Hammers, the Mint, and then the California 300. And
dude, you have a great shot right now.
yeah, I mean,
Damn.
Householder's leading it, and he that guy can
What
lay
did
it
Householder
down.
get
He got
in-
third.
Okay.
So he won the Hammers, and then he got
But
third.
that means you're right behind him then, right?
I think we'll probably be second. I haven't seen what it is,
right now.
but yeah.
Because you're in
it's-
fourth at Hammers and then first.
Yeah.
Damn, dude.
So it'll be close. So it'll be a
That's a
lot of
close
fun.
one.
Those
That's
guys are
cool.
fun to race with. They're a great
Yeah.
family.
Well, what's cool is they're kind of like you guys too. Like there's all these people that people would know in trophy truck, and then there's like you guys that are up there battling for it, and it's kind
so
of
dope,
rad,
dude.
Yeah.
It's like grassroots racing
Yeah,
again.
yeah. No, it's cool, dude. It's a trip
It's awesome.
that we're up there since we can never even finish. So I mean, we did that race last year in October and blew up a motor. And Frankie, I just raced our pre-runner in it because it was so technical. I thought the pre-runner would be just as fast, but and couldn't finish that race either. And that was a decent sized race. So it's like, dude,
Like,
so
come on.
Hopefully.
But I feel like you guys, like, I don't know, things are clicking this season, man.
Yeah, things are clicking.
great.
Our team's busting their ass. Got a good group of guys. My brother's been taking it really serious. We had a flood in our shop over last summer, so it's kind of
shit.
we just lost a sprinkler, but
Yeah.
it was a good reason to go and clean out the closet and just throw all our old shit away.
have
I
to
mean,
do that
every
every
once-
once in a
oh, dude, it
while.
was
Yeah,
like 20
dude.
years worth of shit.
I mean, I have to do that right now. I've got a junk drawer that's probably like 4,000 square feet. like clean
That
out.
back area of your shop?
I'm
Yeah,
like, oh
dude.
my
And
gosh.
Every time you look at it, you're just like, you get a little anxiety. You're like, dude, this has to happen. I got too many other things going on. in
It's the
front of
best
me.
feeling ever, though, man. Getting that out there is the best feeling.
Yeah. So he's been really spearheading that whole thing, and it's made a huge difference because we're way more organized now. The team, Nick Taylor at the race shop, and then Robert and Caden have been really busting their ass. We got a good base of volunteers that come out.
That's
Justin,
cool.
my cousin, there's so many, Vinny, that I can't name them all, but it's
It
just
takes so much, man. People don't understand how much it takes to go off-road racing.
yeah. I mean, it literally takes an army to
Yeah.
do 2 pit stops and all that, and to not screw up, which is like we were saying, it's so easy to do. So.
Yep.
And so you did all the pits and everything independently with yourself.
Yeah.
You didn't team up with any other teams
No,
or
we just
anyone
did it
else.
on our own.
You
Yeah,
guys always do on your own?
yeah,
Cool.
Yeah,
That's a massive undertaking.
yeah. It's pretty cool. We use that Pressure Pro, and
Dude,
the thing
it's
was
so rad.
thing was fast. I mean,
They're so...
Yeah, wait, no, what did they say? Someone was telling us, like, is it like 3 seconds or something for like 50 gallons or something?
no. I mean, it's we got in and out 30 seconds on one pit and 37 on the other one.
Dude,
so
that's fast.
It's super fast. Like
Is that rear tires, too, or
But
just
how
Yeah,
many
gas?
rear
gallons?
about 85 gallons.
That's insanely fast.
And
dude.
just think how long it takes you guys to pump your gas at the
At the
pump.
gas
I pumped
station.
20 gallons.
Yeah.
yeah. It's scary. I mean, this is the first time we've used it. I know they've been out for a few years
They
now.
are scary for sure,
But
but
like the first time you hear all that gas going in there, the
Ready for it
nitrogen
to
or whatever,
blow
you're just
out
like,
your
the
seat or
CO2,
something.
Yeah.
you're like, dude,
It's
it's only
scary,
5
man.
pounds of pressure, but it sounds like it's gonna.
it's still
explode.
scary, though. I know. It is, dude.
Yeah. So
That's awesome, though.
Dude, that is so bitchin'. So when you're not racing, What else you doing? You guys, I mean, obviously, SoCal, most of us are into boats and everything too.
Yeah,
Into boats?
yeah, we love boating. Love going to the river like you guys.
Yeah.
Love going in the ocean. My brother has an Outer Limits, so we always go ripping around in Long Beach and
it's so
Catalina.
sick.
And
I wish our water was just warmer.
warmer and flatter.
I know,
It's rough
man.
out there.
It's
you
so
know?
rough out there.
Well, I mean, it's probably the most fun place to like drive a boat, but it's usually only fun like if for like you and a homie in there. The wife and everybody else usually
Yeah.
fucking hates it, and it's hard to like cruise. I mean, I'm sure you have
Especially
a tough
out
time cruising
there.
the boat. Like you're like, oh, in Outer Limits, you're like, I'm gonna go rip this thing. We're gonna go.
Yeah,
like,
balls to the
you're
walls,
racing by
yeah,
yourself.
yeah.
Are you guys enclosed or you guys have
No,
okay,
it's
cool.
open. Yeah.
What size?
It's a 39 Quattro. It's nothing too
sick.
crazy.
No,
but
it's still
but
epic though, man.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It gets you there, and
Yep.
and there's just a good group in Southern California, good dudes, that
It's awesome.
go out there. And
Yeah.
it just makes it fun.
And it's a hell of an adventure too. When you think, I mean, getting to Catalina when it's rough, like. It's an adventure. Then you get there and you almost feel like you're like in another world. You're like,
It's like being in Europe or something when you get over
It
there.
is.
Like
It's different
it's
world,
got
dude. Yeah.
awesome.
the water's
vibe.
all clear and shit. You're like, whoa, there's probably sharks down there. Like,
Yeah,
There's definitely sharks there.
are. Yeah,
There's definitely sharks
they're
there.
down there somewhere.
Yep. Dude, what a rad deal though. You go to Havasu and stuff like that?
Not as much as I'd like to,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
yeah. No, we love Havasu. We love
man.
Parker.
Yep.
Obviously, it's
like-
tough too. I mean, trying to run a business and race.
Yeah.
And racing takes up a ton of time. And then when you have family racing and everything too.
Yep.
Totally.
Do you have kids?
No. We Diana, me, my wife, we've been married 4 years, almost 5 years, and we have 2 dogs, Trophy and
Nice,
Trick.
dude.
So
Hell yeah.
Trophy Truck and Trick Truck.
Dude, that's awesome.
So they're our kids, yeah. So
Good, that's
shout out
perfect.
to my wife Diana. Obviously, couldn't do it without her. She
That's so
supports,
cool,
she
dude.
supports me on everything.
That's what it's all about, man.
yeah.
Heck yeah,
Yeah.
man.
That's the best feeling. But you have nephews though, or nieces?
Yeah. I've
Cool.
got a ton of nephews and nieces, and
Nice.
then Cole's my oldest nephew, and
How old is he?
He's 18.
Oh, cool, dude.
Yeah. So this is
And he's the one that's racing 1600?
1600. Yeah, he
Cool.
got his first win in December.
Nice.
In the Moore race, so it's pretty sweet.
He got that feel of victory now.
Yeah. He popped his cherry. So
Dude, that's awesome.
He got second 3 weeks ago, and then
yeah.
So that's a hard class, man. Those
I was
guys
gonna
run
say, now,
hard.
Why
Dude.
16 and not like a side by side or UTV?
I mean, when we were growing up, just because we
It was
ran the
always
trucks,
16.
well, yeah, and the whole time we're running our trucks, when we're broken all the time. I mean, we're breaking everything.
Yeah.
It's just so frustrating. And then we just see these 16 cars just
Still going. Yeah, dude.
Always.
We're like, dude, these things are ripping.
Yeah.
They're going as fast or faster than us, and
Yep.
they're finishing all the time, and they're having so much more fun, and it's like more economical, You're
Yeah,
like,
dude, it's cheaper.
Yeah,
Well,
and
a beam
there's-
front end is strong as shit.
Yeah, and there's 30 of them, and there's like 7 trucks or something.
true.
You're like, dude,
More
this isn't
competition.
racing. Let's go. Like, so when Cole started getting old enough, we're like, let's put him in a 16 car so we can see if he's fast or not, so we can see what he's made of,
Rad.
Because you win 16, it means something. I mean, a lot
Yeah.
of the greatest drivers, look at Luke
Dude,
McMillan,
absolutely.
Rob McCaffrey.
All
I
came
mean,
from it, man.
The list goes on of
Yep.
drivers
The
that
Dean
came out of
family,
that class.
everyone, man.
Yeah. So if you can drive one of those, your chances are a lot better than
Absolutely.
Well, and it teaches you how to read terrain too.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, keep momentum, right?
Yeah.
Like
Dude, you can't stop.
can't slow down or
Nope.
you'll never. It takes too long to get going again.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's why we were thinking that. But I mean, the
Smart.
side by side classes are awesome. I mean, they're
are.
massive and they're so competitive, and it's just such a growing.
Dude,
it's just
insane.
there's
so many cars.
classes and there's so many cars. I mean, there's hundreds of them.
So I think there's too many classes. I think like at the Mint, I feel like there was like 20 different classes, right?
yeah,
For
it'd
UTVs.
it'd be cool if it was a little simpler for
like
sure.
give us 5 classes.
Yeah.
Give
Yeah,
us
like
a beginning.
non-turbo,
Yeah.
turbo,
Yeah.
unlimited.
Yeah.
And then
Enter-
maybe a couple beginner classes.
Yeah.
and you enter which one you want to enter. You know what I
Exactly.
mean? It's
Yeah.
like,
Go wherever you want to go.
you want to go with the big boys, go with the big boys. You
Exactly.
want to slow down, just pick
Race,
it. But
race NA if you want to slow down a little bit. Like it's
Yeah.
crazy, man.
yeah.
But still, I think it's awesome. I think it's a great.
Hell
I'm
yeah.
so glad that there are UTVs in the world now because there's so much growing now.
Oh, it's opened up the sport to so
Yeah.
many people, because before you'd have to go out fast in the desert. I mean, you'd have to build a 4-seater or something,
Of course.
or a truck, and it's
Yeah.
so expensive. And these side by sides now, I mean, they come out of the box and they're just
Ready to go.
Dude, they're so fast.
It's out of control.
Like you literally just click the mouse, and next thing you know, you're hauling ass in the desert.
Click the mouse,
And-
hauling ass.
I
and
like that.
It's
Yep.
it's killer. It's it's killer.
It always scared me back in the day when they were like first coming out. I'm like, dude, anyone can just go buy some of these things and go wreck themselves in the desert. Dude.
They're so fast. I'm like, dude, I can't believe more people don't get hurt. I mean, obviously they're dangerous and people do get hurt. But
more. Like, I thought more. Dude.
You go like 100 miles an hour. Darn.
With those like stock cages and everything.
Stupid fast.
Yeah, and all these big guys are pre-running in them too. Like
trophy
truck guys are pre-running in these Pro Rs and these big Can-Ams or whatever. You know, it's like they
dude, and Pooty's out there on the Can-Ams for pre-run and everything. I'm like, damn, dude.
I mean, you know, it's easier to turn around, go see shit.
It's true, though.
Four-wheel drive,
and especially in San Felipe, like with these giant washes. You know, unless you have a helicopter looking down on you, like you can't tell when you're down there if there's a straight line or a wide line or whatever. I mean, you got to turn around and go up and down, and you can't really do it in those two-wheel drives.
Dude, what do you think about that? Everyone pre-running these helicopters, man. It's so wild. It's just next level.
I mean, it's fucking awesome if you can do it. Right?
No, it's great if you can do it, but
it's awesome. I mean, then you have the fastest lane,
dude, you know, exactly. It's mind blowing.
Now, you can have a helicopter chase in front of you.
You just can't talk to them.
Oh, really?
You just can't talk to the helicopter, right?
So they have like just like a light that flashes out the back that just kind of like becomes like Morse code or something telling them.
I think it helps. Like, I mean, when that helicopter kind of goes low when you're catching somebody and you see the helicopter, if you're slow, you're like, oh shit, I'm getting caught by somebody.
Yeah,
you know?
that's true. Yeah,
and that was helping us too in the Mint. I mean, we didn't have a chopper, but the last lap and a half or whatever. The Mint chopper was on us for a while, and like we'd be coming up on lappers, and they'd kind of go up there, and they'd see the chopper, and they're like, "Oh, cool. Shoot, there's somebody coming."
That's smart. And so, well, even us filmers though too.
It's kind of like the horn, but not the horn.
It kind of helped us get through some of the traffic, you know. I mean, some people it made them speed up though, you know. They're like, "Oh shit, we're on TV," you know.
Let's go.
I'm like, dude, get that chopper out of here.
Yeah, exactly.
Now all these guys are Robbie
You're
Gordon,
for us, yeah.
So
yeah, that's how we always know when the crew's coming. You know, we're out there filming. We're like, oh, they're coming. Helicopter's coming.
So like we were talking, like, was it type 1 fun, right?
Yeah.
Like, you know, through all of our experiences, there's like these
type
levels.
Type 2 fun.
Type 2 fun.
Okay.
And the type 2 fun is like those moments that you're like living in that you're kind of like dreading. It's like
sucks.
It's like, this sucks. This is so much work. This is so much anything. But then it's that story that just like lives on forever. And it's just like that level of fun of like, we wrecked. We spent the night like out in the desert because we broke and it sucked and we were cold and we were freezing. But then it's like, you look back going, fuck, that was awesome. Like,
holy shit, we made it through that. That's insane.
What kind of moments have like brought those moments? That are going to be like the stories you're going to tell to all your nieces and nephews when when we're all old, sitting back and like, have all the grandpa stories.
One time.
For sure. No, there's too many of those, unfortunately. But yeah, they're in the Mint and up in that Prim course, they call it no man's land up behind the mountains up there. And there's like 14 miles or 20 miles or whatever it is. And like you can't get up there until the race is over. And so when we break all these years, we always decide to break up in no man's land. Yeah, and it's cold up there. It's like miserable. So you have to wait up there for. We were up there 12 hours one time, 8 hours the other time. I mean, it's like 4 a.m. we're getting back. Dude, it sucks.
That sucks.
It sucks just breaking, but it really sucks breaking up there when it's freezing.
Man.
It's literally like in the 30s or 20s. When by the time you get picked up, you're like, what? I didn't even bring a lighter. That was really stupid. I can't even make a fire.
Can't make a fire?
Yeah, I was like, dude, I would kill for like
a
cup of noodles right now or something,
right?
Or a granola bar.
You guys gotta have snacks or something in there.
Well, now I definitely do, but I don't like to jinx it, So I'm like,
no, I get it.
Yeah, the sandwich.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, if I pack all this stuff, I might need it.
Yeah. I don't want to have to have it.
I'd rather starve.
Yeah, I'd rather starve and be miserable. It's either gonna be really good or really bad, and that's usually what it is. So this time I had everything packed, and we didn't need it though. So
thank God. There you go, man.
You pack it, you won't need it.
Yep, good.
100%. It's kind of like that spare tire, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Wait, how quick can you guys change a flat?
I mean, if it's Andrew Myers, it takes like 10 minutes or 15 minutes. It seems like, but I always give him.
Damn it,
shit.
Andrew.
Yeah, he gets mad.
He's supposed to make sure it's done right.
Yeah. Ryan Agius rode with me. He races 6100, and he's just got his truck back together. He's doing an awesome job. But he rode with me in the Hammers when I put him through hell. With all those flats. Yeah, he's like, dude. What?
Not another one.
Yeah, he was changing them fast too. He was changing them really fast, but
I mean, are we talking like minutes? Or?
Yeah, 3 minutes, 4 minutes for us. But I mean, you see like McMillan's, like Duncan with the McMillans,
dude,
or
Duncan's
Oren,
out of control.
Yeah,
Oren's amazing too.
With Menzies, those guys are doing it in sub 1 minute.
Dude,
in
that's
Mexico.
crazy.
Well, that's like taking the tire
seconds.
off the truck.
That's unbuckling yourself from the
unbuckling
jumping
yourself, then taking the spare off. The other one, and then putting the shitty tire hot one back on the truck.
In Mexico, you don't have to though.
Yeah.
Huh?
Mexico, they don't.
They just
They just leave in
drop
Mexico,
them.
yeah.
Yeah, in Mexico they don't do it, but
Here you have to, otherwise you get penalized, right?
yeah.
Okay,
And
so
they
then,
still fall out. It seems
And they
like.
still fall out, yeah. Do you still get in trouble if they fall out?
I
If you
haven't.
have proof of it falling out or whatever?
I think it has to be ruled. It comes like down to a vote and like ruled if it was done.
Right.
curious.
If it was
On purpose?
on purpose,
Yeah.
yeah. If it was negligent or not,
Yeah,
or
yeah,
whatever. But I mean, you're supposed to carry them with you, but they
Yeah.
don't really fit in there that good. You
No,
know,
they
once they're
don't,
flat,
yeah.
It's like I was following Jurgensen and I saw him
God.
drop a tire off the back, like because he changed one of his 6 flats.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, there goes. I think that's a flat one. I don't know. Maybe it's a good one. Then he's
Hopefully
really
it's not a good
screwed,
one.
you know?
Yeah, he's really scared.
Yeah.
Well, actually, hopefully it is a good one.
Yeah, we saw him going out of the pit and saw it fall off. I'm like, oh, that happens for sure.
Yeah, it does happen, man.
For sure.
I remember on the live feed, I think it was KOH last year on the live feed, Cameron still was changing a flat. Or his guy was changing a flat and he left it out there. He was on the live feed too. So
Busted.
busted. Completely busted.
damn, everyone's watching.
That
him.
sucks.
Look how good they're changing the flat.
Yeah.
Oh, did he just leave it?
Yeah, like, oh,
there's
shit.
15 minutes.
Yep.
Or- yeah, that's a bummer. That'd be a bad,
Right, bad luck,
frustrating
right?
way to lose a race.
Exactly.
You know? You're like, fuck.
I know.
So, 2 questions. One for the racing. Moving forward, if people wanted to get into get into racing stuff, would you recommend them doing 1600?
Oh yeah. I mean, the side by sides or 1600, I think
Yeah.
is like a great, entry level.
Do you think they're the same price range? Or side by sides more? Or
I
1600
don't know
more?
how much 1600s are definitely more than I thought they were, just because
Yeah.
they eat so many parts. I mean,
Okay.
they eat
Well, the
springs.
Volkswagens,
and,
yeah.
and the Volkswagen motors. I mean, price per horsepower, they're probably the highest in the sport. I think
Okay.
they have like 85 horsepower or whatever. So
Wow.
They're
but
expensive, and there's only a few people that are still really good at it.
yeah, exactly.
And you can't burn the cases anymore.
Yeah. I mean, you can't even get the cases, so it's like, it's a more expensive class than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
But the competition's great. I mean, there's some really, really fast guys, some talented guys. Tim Craig's out there.
Rad.
Mike Malloy's out there. These guys are vets, and they put it to them. I mean,
That's
they
cool.
make you work for it, and they finish almost every race.
Wow.
They push super hard. They're fun to race with.
That's
they're
awesome,
cool
though, man.
dudes. So
I feel that's a great way to learn.
it's a great way for anybody to
Yeah.
learn. It's like if you can go out and win, then you feel like you accomplished something. You're
What
not just
series
finishing.
would you want them? You think would be a good
best starter
recommendation?
series.
So I mean, the Moore series for local would be definitely the best one. I mean,
Yeah.
they have a really good car count. Sometimes the Snore series will have some
Yeah.
good car counts, and then
They got some cool races.
yeah, and the Martellis and Killian, with their program, they had 14 or 16 at the Mint, which is unheard of.
Nice.
So there was a great, limited race car count,
Good.
which is super refreshing, So I think the California 300, there should be a really good 16 car count because it shouldn't just be all the trophy trucks and the specs and the unlimited.
Yeah, everyone else
it
still.
should be everybody. So
Are they doing 2 days of racing then too?
Yeah, yeah.
First day UTV and everything, and second day trophy truck. And
Yeah,
cool.
exactly. So
Class 1.
I know they have a really good course planned out, so
Nice.
should be a lot of fun. I mean, Barstow's
cool.
like, dude, it's the OG, and
It is the OG,
Everybody
man.
tests out there.
Yeah.
Everybody knows it.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's definitely a
highway.
tire eater.
oh, dude, it's an
dude,
everything.
it's so
eater.
rocky. Yeah, it's everything eater.
Excuse me.
You're good.
Yeah, it thrashes everything. So
Yeah.
if you can finish that race and not crash, it's really easy to crash out there.
Yeah.
it's
For
easy to
sure.
do anything. Get
Yeah.
a flat, rip an arm
It's
off.
a rough
I mean,
one, man.
Yeah.
It's a rough course.
Yeah.
You think it's rougher than Prim?
It's
hard
different,
call, right?
It's different. It's
Okay.
like hard rough. Like
Yeah.
it's always rough. You know what I
There's
mean? Like,
no smooth action.
Yeah. Prim gets rough, as it
Yeah.
gets burned in and all that. But like Barstow's just rough all
The
the
whole
time. And
time.
it's
It's
like
huge.
hard.
Like it'll
It's like-
swallow the truck up.
Yeah, it's like it's like all rock. Like the dirt is just hard, right?
Yeah.
It never doesn't even groove out really. It just stays hard like concrete.
Yeah, yeah. In the last one, I mean, some of the guys were pre-running and they got frustrated because it was super technical. That the last California 300,
Yeah.
and some of them went home and all that. And as the race burned in, it actually got way faster because people were saying in that race, like the side-by-sides would probably overall it because they're four-wheel drive, they're tighter,
Yeah.
or
Yeah, I do
they're
remember
smaller,
hearing
they're,
that.
they're more nimble, they could get through it all. And then as the berms built up, the corner speed got a lot faster because you're not flat tracking it around.
Yeah.
So it actually picked it up a lot. And I know the trucks and the spec trucks got the overall by a lot more than people were thinking. So it was kind of did the opposite. Like as it got more burned in, it got way faster where normally it gets slower, So it's kind of weird.
Wow.
But yeah, that's Barstow though, because
Yeah.
it's just so rough, just when you
Yeah.
start. So
I mean, I love Barstow. We used to go out there all the time when our friends raced 16 back when we were like, we were just teenagers then.
Yeah.
We'd
Have
always
fun,
be
yeah.
out there. race. It was the best.
It's so fun.
I mean, we just go out there and like we'd pay for them. We didn't know what we were doing. We were just standing there drinking beers.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, in the desert with our friends, and because we couldn't go drink in a bar yet because we were still too young. But it was freaking epic back in the day.
And eating Del Taco.
Yeah, and there's a million restaurants right
there.
Yeah,
there's a lot there now.
Great, and hotels now, like nice hotels. So
nice hotels.
It makes it a lot easier.
Dude, Herb's just built a gas station out there. Have you seen it? It's really nice.
In Barstow?
Yeah.
Oh,
really?
Dude.
Yeah, right off Ludlow.
Damn, I didn't know that.
Yeah, or Linwood.
Linwood,
yeah. Right off Linwood.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's on the other side of the freeway, but it's really nice.
Okay, so now if someone were to go buy a new car right now, do we go in there and just hammer on them and negotiate, or is it still kind of like, no fucker, there's 10 people behind you going to buy this thing?
It's a hybrid. I mean, you can definitely get a good deal right now. It's a good time, but you got to be somewhat reasonable. There's no crazy incentives manufacturers aren't throwing crazy money on cars right now because they don't need to because
it's selling.
They're still selling. Dealer stock still.
So is it not slowed down then from the whole COVID deal?
It's slowed up a little bit,
but it's still selling.
Yeah, but we're still busy.
Nice.
Yeah, we're
now,
still
there's
real
been
busy.
talk of obviously recession and all that stuff, and the people have always talked there's going to be a massive influx of used cars coming to the market at high prices, real close. Do you see that happening because of all the cars and stuff that were sold at such high rates?
I mean, they've been talking about that, and that could be a problem for sure.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see.
See what happens.
Something has to happen, right?
What the values are going to be. But yeah, I mean, so far it's just been correcting itself, kind of easing into it. It hasn't been used car prices are down for sure compared to what they were. They're not.
Yeah.
You're not getting crazy money for your used car like you were, but you're still getting more money than you would have gotten before COVID. Or
I don't know.
That.
I saw an ad yesterday. The guy had it was a 2006 Ford Excursion with a 6.0.
You still want one?
No, I don't. But it had 56,000 miles on it, right? I mean, it's just a basic Excursion, which I'm okay. That's certainly low miles.
Yes, low miles. Yeah.
75 grand.
Oh God, man!
Oh my God,
that's crazy.
Yeah, I'm like, wow, bro. Okay,
that's a gem though. But I
It
don't
is,
think anybody's gonna give us 75.
No,
grand
not 75 grand for that thing.
yeah,
That's
I was
insane.
like, wow, bro, that's a lot.
That's a lot, man.
Yeah,
that's too much.
I mean, the only reason it's got 58,000 miles on because he's afraid to drive and blow another transmission.
That's true. Yeah, too expensive to change it.
Right.
He's trying to make all his money back from changing all of them.
Well, cool, man.
Dude, this has been awesome.
Yeah. Thanks for coming, man. We're excited to see you race again.
No, thank you guys for having me, and
rad.
Sean, thanks so much for your help too and support. We love your exhaust.
Awesome. Cool. You better.
Thing rips.
That's
Sounds
awesome,
great.
man. Dude, we should try to get your. So they're doing in May. They're doing a pre-runner night at the shop. It'd be really cool to either get one of your chase trucks down there or your pre-runner, or
sweet.
Get your race truck down there and just come hang out, man. They have food.
Well, do you remember inland pre-runners when we were younger?
Yeah.
Okay, so they're trying to kind of make a comeback, and we had a little meetup at my son put it together with them, and there was probably it was just a simple little post out there, and probably had maybe 50 trucks,
but there's probably over 100 people, 150 people there.
But these are old school Rangers built back
in
our
great.
day.
Yeah, man, it was
then
really cool.
New stuff to everything, and it's all just that. It's just like us when we were younger again.
I was really surprised on the turnout. It was rad,
dude. That's
so bitchin'. Yeah. We want to try and I mean, if you bring out one of your rides, then it's literally 4 to 8. It's kind of like a
couple hours,
like tacos and pre-runners instead of cars and coffee type of shit.
Totally, be tons of fun.
It'd be cool. We'll get you the information on it. It'd be really cool to have you guys come out and
just put them on the spot.
I know, I just do it on camera. Now you gotta do it.
We're sitting in the recording. Remember you said you were gonna do this.
Hey, your phone. Leave me another voicemail. You better be there. All right, we'll go to ETC after, get some sushi.
Heck yeah, exactly. Let's do that for sure. Let's make that happen.
Jesse, save us a spot.
Yeah, Jesse, we need a big old table.
Yeah, if you can, then we're gonna call Poopy.
The real boss.
Well,
that's awesome, man.
Thanks, man.
No, thank you guys so much. What a blast. I love this place. Killer.
Where can people find you on social media and stuff?
I'm not a huge social media guy, but
I noticed that when I went to go see what you're doing.
Yeah, I know.
It's all right though.
I'm not either, man. It's hard.
But
so much time.
I think it's I don't even know.
What about the dealerships?
Dealerships are KiaVirvine.com, ggkia.com, HardenBuickGMC.com. I think it is Hard Honda.
So just go and say.
I'll put all them on the bottom of the link. All the dealership.
Yeah, no, thanks, guys.
That way, go and ask for the Eric discount.
Yeah,
This guy.
Yeah, hit me up. I'll hook anybody up for sure.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, hit me up. I think it's Eric underscore. I don't even know my name, but
That's awesome.
Sorry, don't
Don't
put
worry.
it out there.
We'll put it on there.
Don't
Yeah.
put it out there.
Just go into the ship.
They'll give you a good deal.
Yeah, 100%. Hook up all the off-road folks. For
I love
sure.
it. Yeah, so you
Yes.
get more off-road people in there, man. That's awesome.
No doubt.
I know. It's
Cool.
time for me to get a new truck, but they're so damn expensive. I'm just such a tight ass sometimes. I'm like, fuck, I can't go spend that much money on a new truck. I'm like,
They're
pisses
proud of
me
them,
off.
dude. They're so expensive.
I'll come in. I gotta come in. I figure I want to get 2 more years out of my Tundra, and then I'm coming to get. I need a 4-wheel drive.
You seen that new Tundra? That thing's dope.
Dude, it's dope, man. It's really cool.
It is
got
pretty rad.
eyeballed. They
Yeah.
got eyeball.
Yeah,
I think.
I really like them, man. They're cool. But I need a 4-wheel drive. I need a 4-wheel drive like a GMC or a Chevy or something. So
My problem is I have like 110,000 miles on my truck now, and it's been boosted its whole life and kind of ran hard.
man.
And I'm like, dude, it's gonna go.
it's not gonna last forever.
And then I'm like, okay, well,
Hanging
if
by a
it does
thread.
blow up, then maybe that's when I'm gonna turn this into the pre-runner and build like some stupid motor for it. But
Yeah.
then, but I don't really need that. I just
No,
need a
you
daily
don't
driver
need
to drive
daily.
around. So yeah,
That's why you buy IKEA for your daily.
the new ATX Fords and stuff, even the GMCs, they're so nice, but they're not like what 80 grand for like a 1500, right?
Dude, they're spendy. But they're so sick. It's like, how do they get?
dude.
How do you make this even nicer? And then the next one
know.
comes out, you're like, oh, dude, they drive like cars, you know?
That's
They're
what I
big
like
old
about-
trucks.
Yeah,
And then
I
we
know.
lift them and put speed
Yeah,
tires on them.
they
and
drive
run it.
perfect until we screw them.
Until we screw them up, exactly.
Yeah.
See, that's why I love about GMC. Their insides are so nice, man. The Toyotas are so far back on all their like interior stuff. They're
No,
not
the
nearly
new
as nice.
The new Toyotas
Is
are
it?
really. I mean, I in my opinion,
Yeah.
Chevy, GM are behind everyone when it comes to interior. I mean, they're nice.
Really?
I think they're behind. The new Toyota, it's bitching. I mean, even the Dodges. I mean, they have like real leather and shit in
They have
them.
like Alcantara and
Yeah,
they do. That's
TRX.
crazy.
I mean, I was looking at my neighbor.
That's
I was
ridiculous.
like, holy shit, this thing is
it
no
screens
joke.
this
Yeah.
big and
That's
shit.
why it's
I mean,
$150,000.
GMC
Yeah.
just got rid of the screen a little bit bigger than the cell phone,
Right.
And, but then they literally just put a bigger screen over that hole. You're like, okay, guys, fuck, get it together. Like, that's why it pissed me off right now. I'm like, damn it, Chevy.
He's all fired up.
I am.
Gosh, all fired
I'm
up.
probably gonna go
back
buy
you.
another. I probably won't get
He
a
will.
Ford,
He's not
but-
going to get a Ford. He's definitely going to buy Chevy. He ain't leaving.
I'll probably go to GMC.
Yeah.
There
we
you
go.
go. Now we're talking.
See, now
we
we're
have
Now we're
to.
talking.
Shit.
Got to hook up.
For sure.
Yeah, I don't know. But I need like 80 grand for my trade-in.
Right. It's an
Can't do it that
06
way.
and
Yeah.
57,000 on it.
Exactly.
Yeah, you can sell it. You'll be good, dude. 75 grand.
Crazy. Well, thanks, man.
Dude, thank you, man.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Appreciate it.
All right, that's it.
That's it. We wrap it up.
Whoa. Who knew I would make it this far? They hated, they never believe me. Yeah, I would never drop the ball. I know I make it look easy. Yeah, Mayweather with the defense. I don't care what a critic gotta say. I got 'em picking up the pieces.